on this computer. Hello, everybody. This is Aging Backwards with Cherie and Beverly. Happy Sunday.
Yes,
Hi,
it's
Bev.
Sunday visit. Hi.
Every Sunday, Beverly and I try to put out a topic that we think you would be interested in.
And
So
have a
today,
discussion around the topic.
absolutely. So today is all about crushing your cravings, which has been my whole topic for the month of September inside my Facebook group. So
You've been sharing great content, so yeah, awesome. Love it.
thank you. So let me just share this with you. So this is our title page, Aging Backwards with Cherie and Beverly. And if you don't know, I am Cherie Lynn, a culinary nutrition expert, health educator, and certified consistency coach at Cherie Lynn Inc. And I'm also the founder of the Exhaustion Fix. I help exhausted, busy women learn how to eat to help put their hormones in check so they can start to feel awake again and fit in those jeans in the back of their closet. So if you are struggling with energy and fatigue and cravings and you just want to also lose some weight, I have an essential energy boosters guide for you right there that you can put into the URL and you can grab that. So how about you, Bev?
Great offer, Cherie. That's awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Beverly. I am a certified health and wellness coach. I am the owner of Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. I've coached clients who've lost up to 50 pounds in 1 year. I specialize in working with women to elegantly transform the menopause period through a holistic program that I offer online, individually, and in a community setting. So I look forward to working with you to step into your dazzling health. And my website is located below.
Awesome. Dazzling health. Love it.
We all deserve.
We do, and it's so important. Health is just the most important thing. So of course we can't go on unless we read you our disclaimer. So can I have you do it, Beth?
Absolutely. This disclaimer is for Cherie and myself. This information is for educational purposes only and solely as a self-help tool for your own use. We're not providing medical, psychological, nutrition, therapy advice. You should consult with your own healthcare practitioner or your, the medical health professional practitioner that you are seeing. So always seek their advice. This information that we're providing is a disclaimer for Cherie and myself. So if you want the full disclosure, please check out the link below.
Yes. So today we wanted to talk to you about cravings. So Beverly and I are both in the weight loss world, helping our clients, and she deals with more the menopausal age, whereas my clients can
be is what they refer to it as.
The what?
The second spring.
The second spring.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas my clients could have small children, or they can even be grandmas raising their grandchildren. So when they come home and they're exhausted, and maybe around 2 o'clock you hit that 2 o'clock slump where you're like just craving everything, looking for energy to get through your day. So Beverly and I wanted to discuss to you why sometimes that happens. And sometimes that happens because
you just don't start your day off right. Some of the choices that you make for your breakfast.
Well, and we like to go with the easy things, and I was guilty as well. I went through this whole thing, and that's why I know about it. But the high carbohydrate breakfast, it's the easy thing, the bagels, the cream cheese, the donuts, cereal,
pastries, yes.
And then what happens when you come into work? And maybe not now during the pandemic, because they don't have things out there for you unless they're pre-wrapped or whatever. But last year you go into the lounge and there's donuts and there's bagels and there's
quick foods to grab, high in carbohydrates, that's going to cause that slump at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, and the juices with the extra sugar, and what you're doing is increasing your insulin. Your blood
Mhm.
sugar is going up.
Spiking, yeah.
And then at 2 o'clock, it's going down,
It knows that. Yeah.
and your body wants, and it wants more. So
Screaming, craving. Yes.
you have imbalanced hormones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Beverly and I specialize in, is helping you to balance your
To balance
hormones
out.
so
And
you
that
get out of
high
this.
insulin is a problem for many people. I was listening to a webinar just yesterday, and one of the doctors that I follow, Dr. Berg, he indicated that he would venture to say about 70% of the population is challenged with insulin problems. That's huge.
Oh,
70% of the population.
yeah, I would agree with that. And most of it is our diet.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
absolutely.
don't necessarily like the word diet, but that's the one that refers to
The choices
we
that you're making to
how we eat on a daily
eat.
basis.
Right,
Hmm.
absolutely. So being mindful of how you're intaking these carbohydrates can help you to offset that insulin, because the goal is to keep insulin, at a level plateau throughout the day. So as you eat, it will move a bit, but depending on what you eat, it can go vertical. And then you
Hmm.
get that slump and that crash in the afternoon. So that's the reason we're having this conversation, to try to give you some understanding around what's happening when you find yourself just totally depleted of energy around that time.
And your body is going to crave the high carbohydrates. It doesn't crave the carrots and guacamole. It doesn't crave the healthy things. It craves the carbohydrates that you want.
Void of
So,
nutrition, that's why.
yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you're deficient in something and it's craving that. Like if you're craving something salty, you might be a little low on sodium
Sodium.
at that point.
Mhm.
So, one way to help with your afternoon cravings would be to eat more protein and healthy fat for breakfast,
Mhm.
starting out with a decent breakfast, which also has to be pre-planned,
Yes.
kind of meal prepped, because otherwise we're just grabbing what's easy
Was
for us.
convenient, right?
And one of the things that Beverly and I love is our supercharged coffee.
Yes.
I
Bulletproof
like my
coffee.
collagen and my coconut oil or
Mhm.
MCT oils
MCT
in my
oil.
coffee.
Or some
So
people use like a pat of butter.
yeah, buttered coffee. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. All of those are like your fats that help to satiate you, and it allows you to go for many hours and you don't get that crash from eating the carbohydrates.
Right. It's going to keep you fuller longer. So if
Hmm.
you're even experimenting with intermittent fasting or fasting of any kind, that will help you get through towards 11 o'clock lunchtime a little
Right.
bit easier by adding those healthy fats with a little protein in there. So,
Absolutely. I
and it's,
absolutely love that, especially if I have a very long day and I want to make sure I'm giving my body something to keep me supercharged, keep me full, where I'm not running out of energy. That
mhm.
bulletproof coffee is absolutely a go-to for me. I love it, and it's one of those things that tastes good to me. I'm not adding any sugar to it. It's got a nice fluffy whipped taste like a cappuccino. So
Mhm.
it's a fantastic option. You know what? Also, I was listening to um, Kelly Ripa. They're doing these small clips of celebrity personalities and asking them what they eat in the course of a day. And I saw one by Kelly Ripa, and there was one by Gwyneth Paltrow. But I
Mhm.
recently saw the one by Kelly Ripa. And what Kelly Ripa talked about was her supercharged coffee. She starts her morning with the coffee and either the MCT oil or coconut oil. I'm not sure which one she used, but she said
Mhm.
that's her go-to in the morning, and she doesn't eat until much later in the day. So these are tips
Mhm.
and strategies that people are using at the highest level of entertainment to keep their energy level high and to allow them to perform at their maximum capacity. And here, Cherie and I are telling you that this is something that both of us utilize, and it is definitely a game changer.
Right. And I use two different collagens. I'm not sure what you use, Bev, but I've got the Vital Proteins beef collagen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the pasture raised beef. And then I also have a marine collagen from
Oh,
Truvani.com that
nice.
I use. So I like the marine collagen as well because
Yeah,
I
because it's
just feel
got
it
a
gives
lot
me a
of
little bit different.
minerals.
I'll mix it up. Like one
Mm-hmm.
day I'll do one and one day I'll use the other one. So,
Yeah, mine is just a blend of collagen and matcha. So I know green tea is really good, and I always like the matcha that's in the green tea. It helps to keep you going with
mhm.
energy. So yeah, there's a variety of different blends of collagen, but yeah, it's definitely something, especially for women, help us to keep the elasticity of our skin and that glowing look.
Oh yeah, and you can tell with your nails, your hair, everything. But if you have a magic bullet and you just put it in a magic bullet and just like zap it for a
Zap
second,
it.
it's like you have a whole little latte going.
Yes, it is
So,
so creamy. It's just,
mhm.
it's, you have to try it. That's all I gotta say. Try it, put it in the comments, and let us know what your experience were. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those things that's going to be at the top of your list for breakfast.
Definitely. So a couple of afternoon snacks that you could enjoy if you're having that afternoon craving and that you could get through the rest of your day if you need something. You could get a handful, like a quarter cup, not like the whole bag. Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, almonds. You could try carrots and guacamole. Some hard-boiled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are easy to pack. Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds,
Mm-hmm.
green olives. We like our olives.
Yes.
Avocado with sea salt and pepper, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just some celery sticks and hummus.
Hummus, yeah.
They make those little packs now of
The little snack bonus.
guacamole, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
little snack packs, so you can bake those up real easy
Right.
and not have so much time in the kitchen. We're
Right.
all
And
about
about a
not.
lot of the snacks that you've shared, Cherie, you talk about the nuts. That's like your fiber, which is really good for you to keep you satiated. And it doesn't take that many. Like Cherie said, a quarter of a cup. I normally count around 6, and that's all that I actually need. The celery with the hummus, like all the fiber in the hummus and the celery, that's one of my go-to snacks. I love hummus, like all different types of flavor, garlic and pepper and olive oil. Like that's an
Yeah.
amazing go-to. And with the eggs, you can kind of boil like a dozen eggs and put them in the refrigerator. You can grab one for breakfast, or you can have it, as a snack later after you've had your,
Hmm.
supercharged coffee. I love eggs. They're easy to grab. They're, relatively inexpensive, and you have your healthy fats in the yolk. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to eat the yolk. I know we went through that whole stage of only the egg white and
Whites.
whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but eat the healthy
Mm-hmm.
fats,
Right.
please.
Totally agree.
So some people have nighttime snacking is
Guilty.
their craving, not the
Because I'm
afternoon.
up
They
at
get to
2
the
o'clock in the morning.
nighttime. That's your time?
I am a late night snacker, not consistently, but I do know that that's my weakness because Cherie is always getting on to me. I am the person challenged with sleep because I'm working
Hmm.
just such crazy hours. Sometimes I have, full-time hours for the day, and then trying to do things for my business. And, I refuse to go to bed until I get that done. And then it's like 11 o'clock or so, and I'm craving something, usually salty, crunchy.
Hmm.
And we kind of talked about this earlier. So that's my area, but I really try to focus on stop eating a couple of hours before bedtime. And if I can stick with that, I'm good. I'm really good. It makes such a
Hmm.
difference.
Well, and if you finish eating 3 to 4 hours before bed, your body isn't digesting food
All night,
when you go to bed. It's
tossing
working
and turning.
on recovering and restoring your body and
Correct.
the energy that you need for the next day.
Hmm.
So instead of the food that you just ate. So,
Yeah, your body's like digesting it all night, and you're tossing and turning, trying to get that digested so you can get some sleep. So yeah, that's a real big plus, especially if you're trying to keep the weight off, because that has a tendency to stay with you, the food, especially if you're eating like a meal late at night. So some people's schedules are stuff that they have dinner at 8 something in the evening. I'm not like that, but mine is just more like, oh, I need that bedtime snack. So
Right.
I'm
And
cognizant
if
of that.
you've overdone it, then that's, you know, you don't want that stored as fat, you
Hmm.
know. So
Hmm.
if you are craving at night, maybe you got so busy during the day that you forgot to eat. So eat a little bit more during the day so that you don't have that craving
Hmm.
later on,
Right.
because you kind of restricted yourself, maybe not on purpose,
Hmm.
but we want to enjoy our food too. We don't want to restrict ourselves, because then restricting and limiting those calories is going to cause cravings.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a vicious cycle.
Right.
So another thing you can do is drink some herbal tea instead of snacking.
That's another thing that I have to say I do. I almost have it as a ritual. At night, I have my tea to go to bed. I just love my teas, and I have a variety of different herbal teas. And if you're thinking about hormone imbalances, there are certain teas that kind of can help you with that. So I think that that's one of those things that you can start to incorporate, and you will see some major benefits from. I do the sun tea. I think I told you about it, Cherie. Sun tea. I'll put tea out on the deck over the weekends and let the sun charge it. And I use ginseng tea and green tea. That's kind of my go-tos regularly.
Okay.
There's so many benefits of that. And I will put it in this gorgeous decanter, and it's sitting by my bedside, and I have that before I go to bed, or some nights I might brew some other herbal teas. But yeah, it seems to help me. It's like rituals, like, oh, so it's bedtime, I've had my tea.
But make sure that you're watching the caffeine content on some of your teas. So if you're having caffeine right before you go to bed too,
Going
and
to sleep.
yeah, you're just not going to be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I know some people are like, oh, it doesn't bother me, but
Hmm.
I would toss and turn all night.
Hmm.
So you can replace snacking with some yoga or stretches, something that makes you more in tune with your body.
Hmm.
You're going to be less likely to snack. Or keeping your hands busy, get
Hmm.
crafty, crochet, knit, pick up that musical instrument you haven't picked up for years.
Yeah,
Read
that's
instead of watch TV, because watching TV sometimes brings on
oh,
the
keep you,
habits,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
like, oh, I want that popcorn now, or I want the, you know, the chips or whatever you usually like when you watch a movie or TV.
Yeah. And it ends up being a lot of mindless eating too, because you're not cognizant of how much you're actually eating while you're watching TV.
True. So true. And then if you brush your teeth right after dinner, sometimes that will keep you from wanting to go back and have to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's like your brain says,
So,
this is a stop for you. You finished
mhm.
everything. This is your final activity for the night, and it's bedtime.
Right. And you know, the habits are, they're interesting because we always want to go back to what was safe. What were we doing? We don't like change.
Hmm.
So, but if we can do something to replace it,
Yeah.
because it's not going to go away, but if we can replace it with something else that we would much rather be doing,
Yeah, better choice, better option.
yeah, might help. So, artificial sweeteners. I had to throw this in here because I see a lot of people running around with their diet soda. Okay. So the diet soda,
Gosh, that is not good.
you have to beware, because the artificial sweeteners in the diet soda are going to make you crave the sugars. It's
Yeah,
called
it
is
messes with your
insulinogenic.
brain. Yes, right.
So all the times that you see somebody with a diet soda and a candy bar, and they go hand in hand for a reason, and it's because the artificial sweetener is tricking
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brain.
it definitely does. Yeah.
So
And the diet soda in and of itself, there's so many things about a diet soda that works against you. One, the soda will deteriorate your bones. And to me, it's just so challenging to see a little kid with a soda. They're growing and they're giving them sodas. This is like so awful on every level. On top
Mm-hmm.
of that, the sugar aspect of it that you're talking about, and your brain doesn't really know. It's not like a real sugar, it's some kind of artificial something, so you're craving more. So stay away from the sodas. Stay hydrated with some nice water in a beautiful glass, of course.
Yes, with some nice water. And one of the things that I told Beverly earlier was with the pandemic and going back to school, because I teach physical education and health full time at a primary school, and we're not able to use the water fountains except the bottle refill. So and I know to stay hydrated, but I also know that I've become a little dehydrated during the weeks because we can't use the fountain.
Without them.
So yeah, so I have to be cognizant and make sure I have my water. And the kids are bringing their water bottles,
Well,
and
good.
they're doing good with it. They bring them to gym too, so we've only had a couple of spills on the gym floor.
Well, it's water, so you can clean it up, but you just have to make sure that it's totally up so nobody slips on it.
Exactly. It's just I gotta go grab the mop. So some of our different cravings that we have. I love ice cream. Okay, craving ice cream. And there are different nice cream recipes out there that you can do. So like whipping up a frozen dessert bowl with a cup of frozen berries
Mm-hmm.
and some of your favorite milk, blend it up, put one of your favorite protein powders in there,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a very healthy ice cream.
Right. It's like
So
similar to like the Italian ice. You ever had those? They're
yeah.
very refreshing. They're not
Mm-hmm.
so sweet and with the heavy creams, and you can
Mm-hmm.
really taste the flavor of the fruit in it. So that's a nice option.
Right. And try some different berries or even the mixed berries, blackberries and
Hmm.
red raspberries and yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
So another craving that people have is pasta. So
Back to the
the
carbs.
back to the carbs, and we all love our pasta.
Yes, I
And
am. I'm one of those
yeah.
people. I love Italian food too, but on a
Hmm.
special occasion.
So try the fiber protein rich varieties made out of lentils or chickpeas,
Hmm.
and they can fill you up very well.
Yeah.
Or the spiralized veggie noodles, and all of them, you can find them in the produce section now.
Yes. Yeah. Or some of the gourmet restaurants, they have, not gourmet restaurant, gourmet grocery stores, they will have a section that you can like grab and go, and you can find like spiral zucchini, other types
Mhm.
of spiral vegetables like beets. There's a big variety, so you don't even have to worry about going home and making these noodles. You can kind of grab them and they're fresh, and make a nice meal, plant-based meal using those. So yeah, that's a perfect option.
Right. And then our tip there is using zucchini or eggplant slices in your lasagna.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
So,
The,
mhm.
the squash I think I had in my lasagna years ago when I used to make a lot of lasagna with the kids.
Yeah. And one of the things that Beverly and I talked about was I like to cook, but we also like to take the easiest ways out because we have so limited time. We're also busy. So if you need to buy the fruit already cut up
Yes,
or the
that's me.
spiralized zucchini,
Zucchini
then
already. Yeah.
it's gonna cost a little bit more, but if that's what you need to do to get to eat healthier and some of these things, then do that.
Well, I think there's a trade-off. One is like if you're thinking about your health, you're going to pay one way or the other when it comes to your health. If you're not going to
Hmm.
go with some of these healthier options of pasta, and you end up having too much of the flour-based pastas, then this is going to affect your health, your insulin. You're going to have problems where you're going to end up going to the doctor and they're going to have to treat you with some type of medication. So that's the trade-off. So spend the money on the front end making better choices with your food options, and you won't have to have these medications to deal with your health. You're doing it naturally through the nutrients and vitamins of your food.
Right. And right now it's harvest time, so eggplant and zucchini and all of these things, if you don't garden, you can buy them at the
Mhm.
farmer's
The
market,
market,
or
yes,
there's so many places to get them right now.
correct.
So
And
one
then
of
one of
the,
the other things I was just going to point
go
out is,
ahead.
like, while you have them in such large supplies, you can start preparing some of those for canning, or blanch them and put them into your freezer. That's some of the things that I've been doing. And I'm not a
Mhm.
big cook, but it's just like, while I have these options available to me, I can put them in the freezer and pull them out later, and I can have like almost a fresh meal, you know? So
Right,
it's a good
right.
option this time of year.
And right now, like the beets are just plenty, so all you have to do is blanch them and slice them
Yes.
and bag
I've been
them.
doing that with the tomatoes. I've had so many
Hmm.
tomatoes. We actually have some vegetables in our garden, and the tomatoes are in just huge supply. So I've been stewing a lot of the tomatoes. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's chili time is upon us, so another great way to use all those tomatoes. So,
yes.
do you have any other cravings that you usually have, Bev? What is your
As I
craving?
say, it comes late at night because I'm up too late. And it's usually a crunchy, salty for me. And I know you said that's more sodium
Yeah.
craving. And what I will do to satisfy that, I love potato chips, and I rarely will purchase potato chips. It's like a major treat if I purchase potato chips. So I try not to have them in the house at all, because if I open them, that's my snack. I'll be thinking about them every day until they're gone. So my healthier option is the pork rinds, and they come in
Hmm.
different flavors. There's like garlic, or my favorite one is like the spicy one. So I love spicy foods, and I love to take a few of those in a bowl. I never like try to eat out the bag, because you lose, all concept of how much you're eating. But I'll put a little in the bowl and get me a side of hummus, and I'll just use it like a chip and a dip. And it's so satisfying to me. It's so flavorful, and I haven't really had the bad, like, carbs, because there's like no carbs in the pork rinds, and then the fiber in the hummus, it satiates me, and I haven't, really been bad. It's just the fact that I gave into the craving. So that's the only challenge. And I don't do that every night, but there are nights that I'm up super late and it will happen. But I do try to focus on the fact that staying away from food, a couple hours before I go to bed, because I don't want to end up
Oh, I think
struggling with
Beverly
this
just
extra weight
froze
from
right
sleeping.
there.
Did I
Bev, if
freeze?
you can hear me, your screen just froze.
I froze? Oh,
So
sorry.
it with the pork rind and the hummus with the chickpeas, then she's eating a
Cherie. Okay, so we're in a freeze. It looks like Cherie's frozen now. Not real sure whether she is trying to jump back on, but I'll just continue on with what she was trying to articulate for me when I was in.
subscribe to our channel and share. And thanks for watching. Hi, Bev.
Hey, we
So
lost connection there. Oh my
we
gosh.
did, and that's okay. That's fine. So I just went over our um, if they have anything that they would like us to research, that
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
would,
please
we
do.
love research. So,
Leave it in the comments for us. We'd love to check out something that you have of interest.
and if you have any cravings and if this helps you at all, let us know, because we always just want to keep improving. And again, I'm Cherie Lynn, and my Instagram is there on the page, my Facebook. And my Facebook group is called Overcome Extreme Fatigue with Cherie Lynn. And my whole month of September was on the Crush Your Cravings.
Mhm.
So, and if you want access to my Essential Energy Boosters Guide, if you're really low on you're just fatigued and exhausted, and you also want to get back into those jeans, go ahead and type that URL into the search bar, and that'll come up for you.
Yeah,
So,
awesome. That's really great. So I would encourage everybody to do so, because we can use as much energy as we need right now. The season is changing and you're going into this much more lull state. So yeah, grab your energy booster that Cherie's offering. It doesn't cost you anything. Just jump in and check that out. And my contact information is listed there. Again, I'm Beverly. My programs are available through my Facebook. I have Instagram, and also my website is there. And you can feel free to jump in, and I offer free coaching. So if you want a preliminary assessment, I look forward to connect with you. And Cherie and I have our joint YouTube page, which is Aging Backwards with Cherie and Beverly. We'd love to have you to join, like, connect, and share it with everybody. We would love to expand our people that are interested in health and wellness. That's our love, that's our passion, and we want to see everybody healthy. We work really hard to try to bring content that's going to support you in that health goal.
absolutely. So go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos with us, because they're all going to be fabulous.
Absolutely.
So please let us know if there's anything that we can do for you. So,
absolutely. We're glad you joined us.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All
Bye
right.
now.
Thanks for being here.